Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Humanity, we are going to look at we are going to present our celestial obligation, which is to inform human beings that if you were to put human beings on a taste, you find that each and every individual have different, the way they taste when someone eats an apple, they find it tastes different. It doesn't taste the same as it tastes in John or Peter or whatever, no. Each of those individual or Caroline, each individual, when they eat an apple, it tastes different. So that way, if we are to let men do as they wish, you find that in some countries, governments, they say, our people should have a 24-hour sun. The sun should be in our country 24 hours a day. That is in some brains of human beings, not knowing that we who assembled the universe and the created human bodies, we know that a human being has a time scale whereby if we are a human being, it has 24 hours. We know that within those 24 hours, a human being can work, and at a certain given time, we will come and take her soul or his soul out of them without them knowing that if they were doing anything, we just collapse and find themselves sleeping. And they wouldn't know how we move the soul, whatever, things like that. So that way, if I was to tell you that as whatever, we do have programs. We looked at, as I told you, every 8,000 years, this planet, everything changes, whether man likes it or not. Or the entire solar system, entire solar system, especially because the most important thing is that you should know, when we are approaching, if you are to look at every aspect of life on planet Earth, men can become very agitated. First of all, they lose self-worthiness. When you lose self-worthiness, that means there is no reproduction. You cannot produce. Your bodies become infertile, you die, whether you like it or not. The same applies to women. But the lifespan of in a woman is extra kind of whatever. But things, once you men say, we are advanced in knowledge, we can do things our way. I know many countries say, we have our way of life. Your way of life, we say when we assemble as creations, we have a time where you can wake up at 6 o'clock. Before 24 hours collapses, we will take your soul out of your body, you without knowing, and you find yourself either lying down, or if you say you persist, you take tablets and whatever so that you keep your body awake. What happens if you drive or driving a vehicle? You find that vehicle, your brain will switch off, because once your soul is whatever, your brain will automatically switch off. But your eyes will kind of, because you took some medicine, say, I want to keep myself working. Your brain is switched off, and your eyes are kind of open, and you think you can see. But you'll be in a state of unconsciousness, whereby you think you're driving on the road, and whilst you think you're driving on the road, you're awake, you hit you become into a collision. You have an accident. You enter into a collision of either whatever, because your brain is switched off. But the eyes, because you took some tablets and said, I take these tablets so that I can work. And that way, that's when you men went into a direction whereby we call it genetic strangulation. Men entered into genetics, a language of genetics, which they have only less than one. If it were to, I was to give you a percentage of what's the language of genetics and the workings of your genetics and whatever. Men, they only have 0.0001 of that knowledge. How their bodies work, how their genetics work with the environment and the other say, complementary whatever around them. So that way, men, when they thought we were intelligent, they jumped into whatever and ended up. If I can't, I'm meant to do this one, I would take some tablets. This kind of strangle every genetic, or the kill, the alter the original structure of genetics, that you are destroying yourself. And once you do that on a daily basis, if I was to tell you that if we looked at more than 100,000 human beings in more what we call developed nations, their bodies is genetically decimated, destroyed, the genetics are destroyed. If I was to tell you that in what we call modern advanced societies, the genetics that protects the human being from any whatever disease and what have you, the human beings have less, more than 0. More than less than 1% of defense against diseases, because diseases occur in human beings. They can occur because of the environment. They can occur because of technology. Diseases can, because when Allah created human beings, He created disease as a way to curb human beings from going over the limit, crossing the boundaries. You thinking that you are advanced, you are so knowledgeable, you are the engineers. That's when men enter the field of weapons. When you enter the field of weapons, that means your body is unconscious. You will know that you are doing damage both to yourself, to your mother, to your children, as well as everybody in your societies, including the environment, including the nearest, and even including your solar system. That's what you do when you say, we are very advanced in knowledge. Because a country like America, if you were to tell them, would you like the sun to be in America and went on the street and do a survey? They would tell you, yeah, we want the sun here to be, the weather to be like, the sun to be here 24 hours a day. That's how the mind of human beings work. That's how the minds of men work. Not knowing that if you were to say you won't be able to sleep as human beings for 3 days or 4 days without having any drop of sleep, you find yourself kind of destroyed. Your mental, your psychological, your mental stability will go out of the window. You lose every sense of humanism. You become very, very destroyed. If you have to go, what we call, in fact, there is a medical terminology which says insomnia. If you have to go for 3-4 days without sleeping, you'll be classified as someone suffering insomnia. So with that, I just want to remind men and women that we have work to do, and that work needs to be. We need to be given time to assess, because the damage which has been caused in the last 11 centuries is so big that if you men and women interfere in our work, then we will be left with no option except to say to Mother Dunia, okay, Mother Dunia, you can strangle these creations called human beings, and the sun will do the same. Will come and help Mother Nature to destroy whatever that is on planet Earth, which is called human beings. And other complementary, whatever, they will strong themselves and say, oh, human beings, you think you are you think you are. So we come and do things and say, okay, if people are fighting us, we are trying to work out what we're supposed to do to help life on Mother Planet continue. If they say they don't want it, we command the Mother Planet to say, oh, they say they don't want any more life on Mother Planet. We say, and we won't allow you to go anywhere, you men and women who say you are fighting what we originally created. It won't allow you to go anywhere. That's why I told you sometimes many of you don't know. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Just to remind men that, please, we've got work to do. And if we are kind of not interfered with, that work can be smooth. If you interfere with the work, there are so many ways we can respond. The sun in the sky can easily, as you saw some, at one time last year, a certain whatever had almost destroyed the entire people of Japan because they were using gadgets. Boys were using gadgets. A 5 or 7-year-old boy almost destroyed the entire island of Japan just by using a gadget, a single gadget. And these are gadgets which, when we investigate, we found out that gadget was manufactured in India under the Dell license. So with that, I'm trying to warn men that, especially countries that sit on what you call UN Security Assembly. Me and my alien friends, we are not enemies. We are trying to show you what is deadly, or what we call hazardous technology applications. Hazardous technology applications which can cause a lot of damage to men and all other creations, to men and women and all other creations. There are hazardous technologies which are applied. Though the government, some institutions know that this kind of technology is very dirty, but due to corruption, they allow these things to go on. And once these things are allowed to go on, Mother Nature is very different from what her decision, her voice, or whatever is different from what men can decide. Because if a city went and I was covered in a heat or a fire that cannot go away, people ask why isn't this heat moving? So yesterday I was doing my work. Out of nowhere, someone shot me. I said, why? I was doing my work, which I'm supposed to do, and out of nowhere, someone shot me. And I did ask, who are these people? When they looked at it, these are people trained by NASA, trained by either CIO and the Indians and the Pakistanis. They shot me. So I said, why? So the heat can kind of easily sit until I recover, until my body goes back to its normal state that I can do my work properly, the wounds that were inflicted. If I was to show you that I've got scars, whereby men think that if they chop off bits of my body, the arm, the leg, the foot, the nose, they'll be able to work out what to do. No, that is wrong. That is very deadly to humans. Because some people, in some quarters, people think that if we eat this human being, we will be able to do. No, that is cannibalism. That's sickness of the brain of men. What I wanted to show you is that yesterday, I was trying to do part of my whatever as an alien, but someone out of nowhere shot me, shot my whatever. I came, my entire clue of whatever hit the ground. So our ship, our work, in which we do our work, was destroyed. We can't do any work. And I had to put this information on the whatever and say, please, men, we are here on planet Earth, not at war with human beings. If you say human beings that you are at war with the entire universe, I think that would be a very reckless and very stupid statement from anyone of any government, either American government or Russian government or French government or British government or any government or Kenyan government or Ugandan government or Nigerian government, to be very reckless. We ask you how many people are in Nigeria and how many did they go without food yesterday, if you were to ask that question. And how many people lost their life between the 24 hours of yesterday? in a country like Nigeria, if you cannot answer such question, I said to you, my people, let me and my alien, whatever, do our work. Or else, if we say you men and say you are at war with us, you don't know. You don't know. And all I can leave on the table is that be warned, men and women who were not warned. That statement is found in Surah Bakr. Allah warns men not to interfere in the work of Allah, not to interfere in what Allah does. Because when Allah does something, He does it for a reason. There's so many of you in your own family structures, your own compound, who know what your mother ate, what did she eat, did she have a shower before she went to bed? You do know such things, but Allah knows. You do know that your mother did not have a shower, she did not clean this, she did. Many of you live in the same compound, but you know these things. Then if you come out of whatever and say, our government pays us as whatever to fight so and so, to fight this and that. No. You are people not at war with us in the universe, but at war with your own families, your own children, your own mothers. And your own future as well. Your own future. Anyway, that's all I wanted to advise me, that my people, I'm looking forward to do my work as well as you do your work. You do whatever you do, but do not interfere in our work. Do not interfere with what we do. If we say to you that Islam is the only way you can avert the shutdown of this planet. If you say you are Christians, you can go on and look at a country like Ukraine and Russia, and then you look at Israel and Palestinians, how much blood has been lost. Let's say in the last 6 months, if it does make sense to you that that way of life is better, then you say we can open all channels and say, okay, you want war? We will take you to war as human beings. You and your mother in the kitchen, you're fighting for what you don't know, you and so that way, none of you can survive. My people, you made me venture into something that is whatever, but I have to tell you these things. We have work to do. You too, in your own ways, you have to accept that there are things that you can do and things that you cannot do. I've just given a scenario. You will have a compound. In your compound, where your house is, there's your wife, there are your 2 daughters, there are 2 whatever. Then you don't know who had the shower at what time, and you don't know even yourself what time did you go to bed and what time did you sleep. Take whatever on your head, and you didn't know what was going on around you. You didn't know. You don't have a clue. That way, I would beg that please, if you listen to this video, look into yourself and look into your game. Let my alien, assess and work out how quickly can we avert a total shutdown of planet Earth. And also, do plant trees. Do plant 10 trees from any child in your compound, or anyone in your compound, anyone in your household. Do plant trees, 10 trees every month, if possible, every day, every other day. You can plant as many trees as you can. They are very effective in kind of preventing soil erosion, preventing hunger, famine, and what have you. So please, do plant trees. Help us and help yourselves. Help your future generation. And do not manufacture weapons. Do not manufacture weapons. Please, do not engage in any weapon productions. They are not something that you can put on the table and say, oh, that's what we're going to have for lunch. No. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.